Looking at is a convergence of a lot of history falling into one weekend. There's a history of the NFL and their ideas about protecting the shield and what they feel like. There's histories of the Sanders, history of the quarterback, which makes this really complicated and pretty much impossible to find one specific answer about why Sanders fell. He was probably already a fringe first-round pick, so some of the mock drafts were wrong. There's probably some owners out there who wanted to humble him and Sanders, and then there's just the talent that was there. So I'm not, it's okay, I think, to say we don't know what the specific answer is. What I do know, though, and I know it's maybe a little bit of a tangent, but I feel like it's important to say, I want to say this to folks on the internet and folks who are paying attention. This is not the Colin Kaepernick situation. This is important to know. Colin Kaepernick was absolutely blackballed from the league for standing up for folks' rights. This is not what Shedeur Sanders went through. He was embarrassed for 48 hours in a draft, and he ended up going to a Browns team where he still could possibly be a starter on that team because they managed to have half of Wu-Tang Clan's worth of bad quarterbacks, and he can still work his way up to a starter. So this is not the same situation. His career can still end up being okay.
But if you're the National Football League, okay, clearly it's not about talent anymore. It's about something else. And I'm going to tell you, I spent a large amount of the last 24 hours thinking about nothing more than I was thinking about collusion.
The $50 million robbery of Shedeur Sanders. Because that's what I just witnessed. Everywhere we've seen, everything we've seen, everybody that has seen him play said he is the one or two in this draft. I love Cleveland picking this kid.
The NFL draft is supposed to be a dream come true, the big stage where talent gets rewarded. But in spring 2025, that dream twisted into a nightmare for Shedeur Sanders. And now it might explode into one of the biggest lawsuits the league has ever seen.
Because how in the hell does 32 teams in the National Football League pass on a quarterback that was universally recognized one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the country entering this draft, and 32 teams passed on them? Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 different times they passed on them. How the hell does that happen? 4 rounds. It doesn't happen to a quarterback. We've never seen anything like this before. We've seen guys drop because of injuries. We've seen guys drop because of off-field issues, but we've never seen a quarterback projected to be a top 20 pick, universally recognized one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the draft, projected to be a first rounder, in all likelihood a safe bet of a late first rounder, and drop literally to the 5th round. We haven't seen anything like
Shedeur, the Colorado Buffaloes quarterback and son of Hall of Famer Shedeur Sanders, was once hyped as a top 10 pick. Instead, he slid all the way to the 5th round, number 144 to the Cleveland Browns. The room at his draft party went from celebration to silence in seconds. The champagne bottles never even got cracked open. Shedeur didn't hold back, reportedly snapping, "This league just blackballed my son." At first, it looked like a furious dad venting, but behind the scenes, a private investigator working with Shedeur's legal team uncovered internal team messages that paint a darker story. These alleged messages, now being reviewed by multiple outlets, suggest some owners were whispering about Shedeur's media attention.
When you go to these combine meetings, teams give you things to challenge you. Teams will have a player's worst plays ready for him, and they'll show him his worst plays and say, "Hey, why don't you explain them?" And Shedeur apparently didn't take to it well. And at one point, one of the few teams that actually was interested in him said, "Well, what do you make of this really bad play?" And Shedeur said, "Maybe I'm not the guy for you." That's not the answer. Another moment. What they do during the film and the combine and the meetings is teams will install mistakes intentionally planted in the install, and they want you to catch them. Shedeur didn't, and when a coach called him out, once again, it didn't sit well. It's like, bro, there's not many teams needing quarterbacks, especially since Pittsburgh appears to have a deal with Aaron Rodgers and Tennessee's getting Cam Ward. So you're down to the Giants, who were not interested at all, and Cleveland, who traded out of that 2 spot because clearly they were looking for next year's class like the Rams.
And so-called brand baggage, advising each other to steer clear unless forced. Even comments Shedeur made during Super Bowl week where he said they'd call the shots and wouldn't play for certain teams, were reportedly used against them, like the NFL wanted to humble the Sanders family. Now, insiders say the lawsuit will accuse the league of collusion, not because of Shedeur's game, but because of bruised egos and politics.
Step in Eli Manning like, Deion Sanders like, to the point where like you told him, hey man, I ain't taking that psych test with the Giants. I followed you after that. I said I wasn't taking it either. Will you step in and do some of that if it's the wrong organization and say he ain't going there?
Yeah, but I'm not going to do it publicly. I'll do it.
How does a quarterback who led the entire NCAA with a 74.1% completion rate and broke school records get passed over 130 plus times? Draft experts predicted he wouldn't fall past round 2, yet nobody in the NFL spoke up as he slid into the 5th. Fox Sports analysts tried to explain it away, saying Shedeur wasn't once in a generation or brought too much baggage. But his legal team sees those takes as proof the smear campaign was real. They argue it wasn't about talent, it was a warning shot. Players don't control their destiny, the league does. And then came the viral line from Colin Cowherd, "Nobody wants a celebrity backup quarterback."
Him up in the 5th round. I surely would like to know how they knew he would still be there in the 5th round. I've been on that stage for years and years and years. I've never seen them position the cameras and give forewarning about who's about to be drafted. I wonder if Cleveland got a call from somebody in the NFL saying, we got to draft this kid. You just robbed this young man of $50 million. And it wasn't on his playing ability. Wow. Shame on him.
Attorneys are already circling that quote, pointing to it as more than just TV chatter, but evidence of the NFL's mindset. To the Sanders camp, this wasn't a draft slide. It was sabotage dressed up as business. What in the NFL is going on? The New York Giants just leaked a draft interview clip with Shedeur Sanders, and fans are losing their minds. Did Shedeur clap back in that interview? Did the Giants forget what confidential even means? Or did somebody slip up and hit reply, all on something meant to stay buried? This mess has everything: hot mics, shady edits, and a whole lot of chaos.
Sanders' natural bravado, coupled with that of his son, they say that the whole interview process wasn't that impressive. When he showed up at the NFL scouting combine and refused to work out, that hurt him. The interview process while he was there hurt him, etc., etc. You know what, y'all? I get it. It makes perfect damn sense if he's drafted in the 2nd round. It's the fact that he fell to 5th.
The Giants dropped a carefully trimmed clip from their sit-down with Shedeur, then locked the rest away like it was CIA intel. Was it a slick PR stunt, or a sneaky attempt to sabotage his name? Either way, fans aren't buying the half-truth. They're calling it what it feels like: a setup dressed as transparency. And here's the kicker: Shedeur's supporters are even louder than the hate. The Giants basically turned "we've got more, but we're not showing it" into a comedy skit. Social media is roasting them. TikTok, X, even Facebook aunties.
It's exactly what he says. I'm told the footage of Shedeur Sanders meeting with the Giants is so bad that both the Browns and the Sanders family have threatened legal action.
Everybody's clowning the Giants like they just booed themselves on center stage. Fans are demanding the full tape before people start showing up at Team HQ with pitchforks and popcorn. Meanwhile, Shedeur is brushing it off like it's just another practice rep. The Giants wanted to paint him as all hype, but they accidentally made him the hottest name in sports talk. Instead of burying him, they stamped his name in bold headlines everywhere. And the irony? The Giants' PR team went straight for the "we don't like his dad" playbook.
On draft night to make him fall to the 5th round, and them talking about the Giants coming out with all that information talking about Shedeur did bad, bombed the interview, all that type stuff. We all know my last video when I talked about the interview tape about Shedeur did not get a playbook.
And it backfired bad. That's not damage control, that's tripping on your own shoelaces. People online are tearing them apart, asking, why hide the real stuff? What are you covering up? If there's nothing shady, why not drop the full thing? Instead, their little stunt blew up like a New York City grill on Memorial Day, fast, loud, and messy. The Giants thought they were damaging Shedeur's image, but all they did was give him free promotion and keep his name trending everywhere, instead of killing the hype.
There was another team that he sat down with.
What do you mean it didn't go well after that? So,
he was pissed that they did that to him. They did that to him.
He counter-confronted
the
them.
same thing they do to every other quarterback prospect. They did that to him. They slide in a mistake to see if you catch it.
Right. And so
because you're the quarterback.
But he didn't take it as a correction. He took it as like he got pissed off.
Yeah, and it's like so here's another one. So another one was, he throws a bad interception, and it was a deep throw early in the game, and he comes back and they go in the meeting.
The Giants poured gasoline on it. They made Shedeur look like the kid who snagged one cookie and somehow got blamed for stealing the whole jar. Only difference, this kid's got cameras on him 24/7, and he's handling it like a pro. Now every throw he makes is dissected like it's a presidential debate. Fans are calling it what it is, lies stacked against him. Some say the Giants just don't like his dad, and honestly, that might not be far off. But here's the twist. The harder they tried to drag him down, the more they boosted his name. The Giants accidentally turned Shedeur into a walking headline. Controversy in cleats. They tried to plant doubt, but all they really did was create buzz. And the hate, it's so heavy you could bottle it up and sell it as toxic cologne.
And fire. The GM, who was that nigga that Jaden Daniels. The GM is on film that the nigga's son, the nigga asked his son last draft, yo, who you think I should pick? His son like, yo, you need to get the Jaden Daniels nigga, B. This is what his son's on tape. You should go Jaden Daniels. He laughing at his son. And all right, cool, get Jaden Daniels. I don't even know how that tape got out. I wouldn't have let the shit get out.
It's leaking out of Giants HQ like radioactive sludge from a bad superhero movie. Maybe they think they're cooking up some genius PR formula, but every bit of shade only makes Shedeur's story bigger. Each time they try to box him in as all hype, he turns it into another viral moment. Now he's the underdog hero rising through the smoke. And the kicker? Fans, media, and even Reddit threads are chanting, "Drop the tape," like it's a lost Beatles record. Meanwhile, the Giants just stare into the void like they didn't see this mess coming. And now,
it's funny. New York Giants, where these tapes at? You hear me? Because if Shedeur Sanders was so unprofessional, y'all would have leaked the tapes for the whole world to see, right? Because understand, it's a lot of he say, she say. But one thing I do know, as a young black man growing up in this world, being straightforward and not sugarcoat.
Major news out of Cleveland. Shedeur's story just took another turn. Mary Kay Cabot, once one of his harshest critics, is giving him props. She revealed he's officially moved up to first-team reps at training camp, beating out Dylan. According to Cabot, Shedeur didn't just luck into the spot, he earned it, showing growth and real skill. Head coach Kevin Stefanski has signed off, giving Shedeur those first-team reps starting next month. From rookie backup to legit contender, the narrative is flipping fast.
Another moment, what they do during the film and the combine and the meetings is teams will install mistakes intentionally planted in the install, and they want you to catch them. Shedeur didn't, and when a coach called him out, once again, it didn't sit well. It's like, bro, there's not many teams needing quarterbacks, especially since Pittsburgh appears to have a deal with Aaron Rodgers and Tennessee's getting Cam Ward. So you're down to the Giants.
And the timing couldn't be bigger. It's a huge step forward. Proof Shedeur is ready to fight for that top spot. As the season gets closer, all eyes are locked on him to see if he can seize that starting role, but it wasn't always this way. Back in minicamp and OTAs, Mary Kay Cabot was one of his loudest critics, calling him a fourth-team quarterback and saying he wasn't even getting the reps to show what he could do. While most of the media was backing Shedeur, Cabot stuck to her doubts. She even claimed Cleveland wasn't setting him up to compete for the job, and insisted he wouldn't start any preseason games. While Dillon Gabriel and Kenny Pickett were being prepped with serious reps, Shedeur was kept with the 4th team, and Cabot leaned hard on that narrative, but not everyone bought it.
So, probably the most fun yet the most difficult thing I cover and we cover all year long is not games. It's the NFL draft. Because I've said this many times, you get lied to for a month to 2 months up to it. And so often during the draft, and every few drafts, there's a guy that really falls, precipitously falls. This year it was Shedeur Sanders, it's been Aaron Rodgers, it's been Dan Marino. Every few years somebody falls a lot. And so, but those stories don't come out until like the fall.
Kimberly A. clapped back when asked about Shedeur being buried on the depth chart. She shut it down instantly. She said there was no way anyone could ignore his skill, presence, and poise on the field. To her, saying Shedeur was overlooked was straight up wrong, because his talent made it impossible to act like he wasn't being noticed. Still, Cabot didn't let up. She doubled down, even suggesting Deshaun Watson could return and take first-team reps instead of Shedeur. Her commentary felt less like fair analysis and more like a push to keep him out of the spotlight. And when Shedeur had his speeding incident, clocked 40 miles over the limit, allegedly racing another car at 92 miles per hour, Cabot jumped all over it. She called it reckless and dangerous.
I don't know if it ever gonna get leaked or not. The tapes, the New York Giants have the tape. They definitely have the tape. It's confirmation that they have the tape. Shedeur didn't do nothing. It's what they saying he did. I'm gonna tell you what these mixed reaction right here. So we already know about the New York Giants, but the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin reported admired Sanders' talent, but hesitated to draft him due to previous challenges with quarterbacks like Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, leading to more cautious approach. Las Vegas Raiders. Sanders met with Raiders at the NFL scouting combine and expressed enthusiasm about potentially joining the team. His familiarity with the West Coast offense and quick relief was noted positive, though concerns about his ceiling.
We have seen Shedeur Sanders take second-team reps before, but today, interestingly, at least during one move-the-ball period, it was really one of the first move-the-ball periods that we've seen, the Browns actually had Shedeur Sanders go ahead of Dillon Gabriel.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's earned it, and I think we've all seen that. He's done a really, really nice job with all of the things that the Browns have given.
Framing it as a red flag for his maturity and leadership. But fans weren't having it. The backlash was loud and immediate. So much so that Cabot eventually shut down her own comments section. It became clear her narrative was collapsing while Shedeur's game kept improving. Sticking to her stance was only hurting her credibility. With his progress undeniable, she had to switch gears. And switch she did. Cabot finally gave Shedeur his flowers, backing him as a key piece of the Browns' quarterback future. She admitted he had pulled ahead of Dillon Gabriel and was officially taking first-team reps. She recognized the work he put in, the strides he made, and the undeniable talent he displayed. No one could deny it anymore.
The way that I thought it would is that Shedeur right now is the fourth-team quarterback. He did not take any team reps yesterday. Sometimes there's misinformation that comes out of an OTA like that, but he just did not take any team reps. And not just that he wasn't the second guy or the first guy. He didn't take any 11 on 11.
Her tone flipped entirely. Cabot even praised his presence in media sessions, saying his poise and maturity added to his growing reputation. According to her, Shedeur wasn't just standing out on the field. He was standing out off of it, stepping into a leadership role the Browns couldn't overlook. Now even one of his harshest critics has come around. Cabot admitted it's obvious. Shedeur Sanders is the real deal. His growth, his ability to silence doubts, and the way he carries himself prove he's not just chasing the starting job, he's a serious contender to own it. He started out written off as a fourth-string quarterback.
It's Harry, and you're sending him out there against these guys. I don't like anything about it.
Extension because it hurts the team every way you look at it.
And then finally, Kmart. if I said, Cleveland, are they making a mistake burying Shedeur Sanders on their depth chart?
Greeny, I don't think he's buried at all. I think it's so premature to even frame it like this. I understand the interest given the fact that there are 4 quarterbacks there, but to say a disservice is being done to Shedeur, I think is a...
But Shedeur never blinked. Through minicamps, OTAs, and preseason grind, he climbed past names like Dylan Gabriel and proved he was built for the spotlight. And it's not just Mary Kay who flipped her stance. Plenty of doubters are now some of his loudest supporters, praising his growth and the raw potential he brings to the Browns. His rise is all about resilience, turning shade into fuel and proving that dedication earns respect. This progress isn't just about what he's doing on the field, it's about the leadership, poise, and maturity he's shown off of it too. Shedeur isn't just another rookie anymore, he's looking like a breakout star in the making.
Went crazy over something I wrote last week that Deshaun's going to have a chance to come in and compete. I didn't say Deshaun was going to come in and be the starting quarterback, that it will be someone else. I don't know if it will be a rookie that they bring in. I don't know if it will be someone that is on someone's roster right now that they're going to trade.
So here's the question. Has Shedeur really earned his shot as Cleveland's starting quarterback? Or does he still have more to prove? Was Mary Kay right to switch sides? Or should she have stuck with her first take? And what do you think was the real turning point that flipped the narrative? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.